All right, so here we go. So yes, Battlefield 6 just received a strange new update that you were probably never really notified about, but this change did happen to the back end of the game, and it changed the core gameplay of Battlefield 6. So what exactly got updated? Plus, the dev team replies about core concerns, including Bloom. Why did the beta feel better? Weapon handling, movement, and the overall experience. But it does look like major changes are planned here to make the experience even better. And as always, I'm going over your top comments, so leave a comment down below. But I say we dive straight into this, starting out with this brand new patch slash hotfix. Check it out right here. So yes, jump momentum fix has been applied. It says we're rolling out a fix that addresses an issue where jump momentum gets unintentionally interrupted when jumping with certain weapons equipped. This is now live across all weapons and may take effect upon your next fresh match. So yeah, this didn't require an actual patch download, but movement should be feeling better. And this is one small step to making the game feel better as we get further into dev replies. But one of the big core issues right now is that bloom. Check it out right here. I really hope you guys mention the bloom. From what I have seen and played, it feels as if there's too much bloom, rendering most guns terrible to use compared to some others like the MP5. I'd like to know the general sentiment though, and we got a response here from the dev team who says this: we're monitoring the feedback for sure. Could you send which weapons and which attachments you're having issues with? And here we go. The M433 is the most notable. Do you guys agree here? Here is the build. Not really sure of the precision. Stat goes much higher. In fact, 25 is the highest, I'm sure. The second AR with some exact build 2, same problem. It seems like this is really affecting assault rifles as well. But, you know, another follow-up question here. Hey, David, here are some feedback as a casual player after playing Battlefield 6 this weekend. Number one, the gunplay. I notice right now we just got gun kick plus view kick plus random recoil plus bloom. Just feels too much. Number two, enemy visibility says is an issue. And then number three, the leveling for guns. Comparing to the vehicles, it needs like 10 times in total. And I'm not saying we should unlock all of them in one day, but it just feels way too much for one gun. Here's a response from David Serland, who says this: we'll fine-tune a lot of the gunplay and movement and keep finding and fixing bugs as we do. The first weekend is amazing for knowing how things actually work, and we'll utilize that heavily to move forward and improve all parts. We want to increase fun and minimize strife. So it's great to know here that the dev team is not ignoring you guys when it comes to weapon handling and bloom and the movement system. They are really diving deep into the analytics behind the scenes and discovering right now what is working with the weapons and how it's feeling, especially compared to the beta. I've been hearing the common complaint that the beta just felt so much better for a lot of you guys. I'm not just talking about the movement, of course. I'm also talking about how weapons handled. So yeah, it does seem like things did change quite a bit since the beta, and it looks like they're looking at things to fine-tune that experience and bring back that fun factor. Of course, when it comes to jumping around and things like that, I think they're going to keep the, what some people would call the jump slash movement nerf that did happen since the beta. So I don't think that that would change in the future because they don't want this, of course, turning into a Call of Duty. Now, we also have this right here. Am I going crazy, or does your sensitivity slow down when spraying any gun in Battlefield 6? Deadass feels like my mouse is in a sludge as soon as I start shooting and tracking someone. Here's a reply. Can you guys take a look? I wonder if it's a bug only for some users, since hardly any big voice in the community talks about it. Really feels like you're moving your mouse through mud when firing. Now, David Serland of DICE says this: we have seen some reports of this and we're eagerly collecting data on the issue. Is this true always? Is it all related to frame rate? Do you get this in firing range? And hey, Knickknack takes it a little bit further, giving us a response with actual video, as you could see, give an example. But he says this first: happens in fire range too. I don't have hand cam to prove I'm not skewing results, but I put my mouse between my mouse pad's edge and a hard object, and you can see me make the range of motions a few times over, and then while firing, and notice quite a large difference. So yes, I have also seen this sentiment throughout the community as well, through forums, subreddit, Twitter. This is definitely a thing that is happening. Again, it looks like they are absolutely looking into this. In fact, you know, Florian, one of DICE's very own principal game designer, actually replied to this very thread as David Serlin tagged him. He says, taking notes, wondering if this is something that you're observing with all weapons. For example, weapons that mostly recoil vertically and not so much horizontally. So yeah, again, this needs definite investigation, but let me know, guys. How are you feeling about the weapons right now overall? Which ones feel really weird, weak, and need to be fine-tuned or buffed? Yeah, there's definitely something going on with some of these weapons. However, I've seen one big tip for now is that you definitely, with assault rifles, want to learn to burst and, in fact, go out of auto fire mode and go to single shot, win long distance. I guess that has helped a lot of players right now. So give that a shot currently and see if that works out for you. Also, mentioning weapons, we have this. The class of weapons feel bad. You don't know what you're talking about. The A1 may have been the best in beta, but that has changed. There may be a difference in feeling between consoles, you and PC me, due to aim assist and whatnot. I don't know. No need for hostilities. Again, we got a response. Yes, this is one of the top issues we are tracking. So they're not ignoring the A1 or the weapons whatsoever. In fact, they also say, please keep the feedback coming. With the first weekend for Battlefield 6 in the wild, we are bound to have found issues, problems, stuff you'd like to see change, perhaps even praise. It's still all good. I want to know. And the team is eager to show you how much we care. Here's a response from Cracks who says, there's a lot to love, but some things that I noticed in-game personally, ARs and carbines feel way worse at range than SMGs. Buff them, don't nerf SMGs, still get thrown into the air by random rocks. Visibility, spotting enemies is often very bad. I actually agree with the SMG at range. Some of them are laser beams with minimal recoil. And David Serlin says, that could absolutely be the case and needing further balance, not arguing that, just not buying it as an argument to make ARs the same, smiley face. So they're kind of apprehensive to change too much, of course. But this thread further evolves as we keep going here. As you can see, it doesn't all need to be the same, of course, but right now ARs and carbines just feel meh to use, and SMGs feel better to me at least. Ideally, all guns should feel good to use in their intended ranges. You don't know what you're talking about, calls out Jay, who says the M4A1 carbine is the best weapon in this game currently and beats out every weapon in engagements. Don't listen to this dude. And yeah, David says this, carbines for sure seem to be hitting their mark. Yes, data will tell the full story past weekend on weapon balance. So yeah, for those of you that are using the M4 and the assault rifles, how are they feeling for you currently? Or are you onto SMGs like the MP5? Let me know in the comments down below. But I myself, I've been doing pretty good with the M4 simply because burst firing is just the natural way to go for me. But bloom does seem to be a core issue for sure. Now, Frank says this, can you please look at the weird bug when you stand on rubble or anything elevated slightly and your character rubber bands up and down, you go up a solid 5 feet. It even happens to your team in the campaign randomly. Super jarring. Thank you. And Florian does reply, yep, we're aware of the issue and we have a fix that we're working on for a future update. So that is good to note. That's going to be making into future patches. And we have, is there a way to speed up soldier sprint on a per map basis? For example, Murak Valley, sprint speed could be faster there, but don't have that speed effect like Siege of Cairo. And the response is simple. Soldier speed will definitely feel different map to map as the cover density may vary, but modifying the sprint speed per map would introduce a lot of inconsistencies in gameplay, which I don't think is good. So yeah, don't expect that to make it into a patch or any change like that. I think that'd be really, really weird to the game to have sprint speed feel different per map. And we would really appreciate a training ground like Battlefield 4 had, where we could adjust our settings for each vehicle and shoot at moving targets. Trying to do this in a match is impossible. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't a thing. David Serlin does confirm, I'm hoping we see an amazing Portal experience for this, but yes, that is something needed. So far, I've seen a jet training one, but it's pretty bare bones. Yeah, this is absolutely needed. I need a training grounds for the helicopter so I can mess around with settings, try to mirror like Battlefield 4, the older Battlefield. So that is absolutely something they need to get into the game. Again, surprised it's not in there. Now, Freddie says, another note, I'll throw my hat in the visibility needs small tweaking pool. With how brown and gray some of the maps are with debris and smoke, it's hard to notice even aggressive movement from enemy players. I'm nitpicking at this point because the team did great with this entry. And the reply here, yes, visibility is an ongoing thing for sure, and we can tweak this per map. Any specific maps that are extra bad from a soldier visibility perspective, this is it, guys, your chance to really let the dev team know, of course, in the comments down below. I'm sure they're cycling through every single Twitter post, forum post, YouTube comments, all sorts of stuff, but sound off what needs to be improved in your mind when it comes to maps and visibility. Also, I think this Sunday will be good in terms of how many of you are all playing Battlefield 6. New record, I hope so. And we have a response to this. David, due to all the complaints about the menu UI, do you guys plan to do something to make it more intuitive? And David does say this, of course, we will improve all kinds of UI things, not necessarily the exact things you care about, but it will change based on feedback too. Yeah, a lot of people also feel like the closed weapon playlist is still too hidden. And we got an interesting discussion right here. Defibs really need a cooldown, even if it's 0.5 of a second or half a second. You have medics run into a pile of dead soldiers and revive the whole army in the middle of a firefight. In Battlefield 5, you actually needed to create a safe surrounding before reviving someone. Was a lot better than this. It's really annoying killing two guys, taking cover, and here the defib just undoing all of it in an instant. And the reply is this, yeah, we are watching the defibs with the keen eyes. On one hand, it's a decent problem to have too many too fast revives. Yeah, but there's a limit to this where it messes with reload combat tempos too. Yeah, I've noticed this as well. But also, it's nice to be able to get in there and quickly revive. So it's a balancing act, I'm sure, for the dev team. We'll see what they decide ultimately on what to do with that one. Now, we have, so I feel like the stim should heal you to full health much faster than it does. I feel like it only triggers your regular ability to heal. Other than that, the game is perfect. So David did confirm that this is by design. It makes you faster and less prone to in combat suppression, which pauses healing, by the way. Remember that it doesn't directly heal anymore. So that was changed, of course, since the beta. And we have this right here, buff the RPG against players. I literally hit this guy direct and it didn't one-shot him. And David says this is by design. Doing that would make RPGs rival sniper rifles. We have been down that road before. It's not pretty. Use them to hit choppers instead. So they don't want, again, RPGs and grenades. I've confirmed this time and time again to be kill mechanics. Now, I know a lot of you guys still feel like, well, that's dumb. An RPG is an RPG. So yeah, I don't know if you're vocal enough, maybe they would update this, but how do you guys feel about the RPGs currently? And is there any way we change minimap position? I'd love to be able to move it to the top left of my monitor. David Serlin said, we know many want to swap locations of the widgets and corners. It's noted for sure players want customization here. So again, that has been noted by them. Maybe we'll see an update in the future. And hey, David, if you're in a helicopter on Manhattan and go out of bounds, you only have 5 seconds to get back. Most of the time, you're just dead. Please increase it. And David says, thank you for the feedback. That seems a little short indeed. So I think that they are going to fine tune that in the future. And as always, you guys know what time it is right now. It is time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video, but let's see what you guys had to say from my most recent video, shall we? So let's get into it right now. So we have, at the moment, I hate how when you unlock new attachments or guns, it doesn't highlight that class. You actually got to go look for what was unlocked. That is such a pain in the ass. 135 upvotes. So hopefully that does change here in the future. Since you guys are being so vocal about it, I'm sure that will make it into a quality of life update. And introducing stamina would be a horribly crap idea. It would just be the opposite of a quality of life update. So you guys do not want to see that system for sure. And we have this one. I'm on the committee for Caspian border win, and I'd like to reaffirm our position. Give us Caspian border, please. Hell yes. I kind of wish that that map was already in the game. Don't get me wrong. I love Operation Firestorm, but Caspian border is like, has that full scope Battlefield feel for sure. Now, we also have some compliments to the dev team here as well. Love to see it. The communication with the devs is giving me Battlefield 1 games, whether it was your preferred style or not. No one can deny the support that game received was top level. Hell yes. I'm loving their level of communication. They're out there engaging with the actual community willing to respond to the top concerns. That is freaking awesome to see. So yeah, at the very least, we have an active dev team that is legit concerned about your complaints, and hopefully we see some gradual and major improvements to the gunplay for Battlefield 6 as we go. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more, and I will see you next time. Take care.